Good morning. Sergeant First Class Reginald Knight, retired, reporting. If you ever take a survival training course, one of the first things they're going to tell you is that it's not the lack of equipment that will do a person in. It is when they become despondent and lose hope. There have been people found unalived with a full set of gear, with things that could have helped them survive until they were rescued, but they gave up. They lost their hope. I'm telling you this today because as I was reading some of the comments from the No King's Day March, I ran across this one woman's page who said it was, I quote, performative bullshit, unquote. Well, I vehemently disagree with that for a lot of reasons. First of all, when you gather into a crowd of that size, 7 million plus, and you're still adding the numbers, is that it reduces your stress. They have done studies that there are great cardiovascular and, of course, mental benefits to having hope. Because getting back to the survival scenario, the first thing that you have to know in your mind is that no matter what the situation, you're going to make it. Also, when you've got 7 million people gathered for a common goal in mind, it makes planning going forward just a little bit easier because you realize, I don't have to do this all by myself. And I've got people to share my angst with, and maybe they can, offer you some encouragement or give you some tips. And, before you know it, you're not as stressed as you were a few minutes ago. Hope actually does build your immune function because people that are stranded out in the wild after being super stressed, little food, little water, they become susceptible to disease. But, if you keep finding tasks to do that are relevant to you staying alive, your body will respond to that and actually make you healthier. And you never know that might be what you need to win the day until help comes. I'm telling you all this today because for me, seeing all those Americans protest peacefully, I had hope before, but now I've got like a super duper dollop of hope in my heart and my soul. I had heard from a lot of people firsthand that people came out to the marches and some of them did not vote last time. I'm hopeful that when we have these midterm elections is that their choices will be different. Is that they'll get up and they'll go to the polls and exercise their right to vote. I also heard that there were not a lot of Generation X people in the crowd. I'm hopeful that with mentorship and promoting this thing from older people like myself, that we will get those Generation X people, out of the basements and video game chambers, whatever they do, and participate in this democracy because this is the whole point. And I've said this before. I've spent most of my life already. Whatever I have in front of me is what I have. But if you're in your 20s or in your 30s, you got a long road ahead. And you really need to start thinking about how you're going to spend it. So on this Monday morning, I am buoyed with hope that there are kindred spirits of like mind that we're going to turn this ship around. We're not going to be able to fix America immediately. But if we get up, if we give up and we become despondent and we don't have hope, we might as well just bow our heads between our knees and wait for imminent impact, because this ship will crash without us having hope. Sergeant First Class Reginald Knight, retired, reporting. Have a good day.